What is good, Unique Fam? Back with my notes for another video of the frequency series. Um, I would say this is a special one, but all of them are special. It's just a bunch of ideas that I feel like should be talked about more and discussed, and have ideas shared about them so that we can really build an understanding of these things and implement them into our lives. So yeah, this one being very predominant at the time that I'm recording it. I have a bunch of notes written down, so you'll see this frequency series really have some volume to it. But like just where I'm at in my life right now, I had my relapse through a dream, and we're gonna leave it at that. But like having that and getting the clarity like after that, it made me really realize like how much I do care about this topic. And at the same time, like it made me aware of a couple more things that I probably didn't write in my notes. So while the idea is at the front of my consciousness, I think it's a good time to get a video on it and see what we cook up. So without further ado, you can see the title. I made it sacral or sacral retention, which is just the energy when we're thinking about it. But it's also more commonly known as like semen retention or seed retention, because it's not like I made it sacral energy so that both the masculine and the feminine energy can relate to it, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's your creative energy, your life force energy is also what I like to call it. But yeah, without further ado, I literally already said the first note. Your sacral energy is essential force for creation. And just that in general is key. And you can tell, like, especially like with it being released through your reproductive organ, like that is creation of life itself. So and people overlook that a lot, especially in today's society. Like that's one of the biggest things that comes to my mind, is that like, bro, it's so normalized to just waste that potential energy and like not really view it as sacred. Like the sacred aspect of it is kind of just went down the drain when you look at society today. And it's tough, bro. It's tough. But going through the notes, leaking this potent energy nulls your ability to make shit happen, and it also kills your creation or your imagination at the same time. But it's like it also kills your drive, like to actually go do shit and make shit happen. Like, and I personally have been trying to like even when it does happen, I try to transmute that energy when I feel bad about it or when I feel drained, to like kind of get back what I lost as much as I can, before I just go on a streak and just build it up. But it's like usually right after that moment when you release, like you just feel drained. You don't want to do anything. And your body's also kind of just wired to be like that, because when like what it's supposed to be used for, like your job is done. Like you did what you were supposed to do with that. But the way it's being used now, it's like you just drained. You didn't really accomplish anything, as much as people like to think that like that's the end all be all, which is so crazy. Like I know people don't agree with me like 100%, because like even like when I talk to my friends, they don't understand like why I think like this. I think I'm just an ancient soul at heart, and that's why I care about this shit like as much as I do. But it's like you can just do a lot more with that. And hold on, I don't want to share too much of what I said, but like that energy is potent. Like that same energy that you get like riled up to go, whatever you got to do, like just the intensity of that energy you could put towards something more productive if you're not gonna create another life. You didn't see that. But yeah, it's like we're just gonna continue with the notes. So literally kind of what I was going into is transmuting that energy is the key to making use of it so it doesn't leak. And I guess like that's what, when you have that buildup of energy, which bro, I fucking hate how society has gone to where, or hate's a strong word, but I very like, it bothers me a lot to where it's like it's so normal to release, to where like not releasing is the outlier. Like, bro, what are we doing? Or what are some, like, and I used to be there, bro, but it's like that's why you don't really see too much real creativity. Like, it's usually just a lot of the same shit. And it's because people aren't really getting their own unique ideas, because they're just letting that shit fucking spill out. Just what the fuck. Got a piece of tape, man. This video's all over the place, but like, fuck it, bro. I'm just being myself. But yeah, it's like, I think you guys can definitely get the point I'm trying to make here. Like, you don't wanna leak your creativity when you can use it to be like to create something, bro. It's that simple. Sacral energy doesn't only nullify from releasing during sex, though. Overconsumption of instant gratification can also kill your creativity. And yeah, I think that's just well said as it is. And yeah, I got the orange shirt for the sacral energy. I actually didn't do that on purpose, but it fits and I like it. So yeah, the more you become familiar with maintaining and transmuting your sensual desires, the more in tune you become with the self, and the easier it becomes to get things done, because you have a high yield of potent potential energy and you are actually in control of it rather than it controlling you. And yeah, I mean, it's also like, you don't have to be like, especially starting off, like, you don't have to feel like, you're really, really, really fucking up, because the conditioning goes deep, bro. And that's what really bothers me, is the fact that, like, we even, like, bro, what the fuck? To where, like, I even had to realize that through my, like, relapsing in a dream, to where it's like, I wasn't even conscious of it. Like, it kind of just happened. And it was more of just, like, really the subconscious program of, like, having everything right in front of you, and, like, really having to resist the truth. But that's where we need to take accountability of being conscious of our thought patterns, and kind of how we react or how we respond when those triggers come up. So yeah, that's obviously key. With this video, I just want to get a lot of information of just like the whole idea of why it's important to hold on to that sacral energy, and just like really paint the idea of it leaking and then losing your creativity, rather to holding on to it and making use of it and transmuting it in ways, if you're not gonna create another life with it. But yeah, that's literally just, it's energy, bro. And like, when you view it like that, you can start to like understand and realize, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't just be like fucking just letting it go out there, and not really be conscious about it, and like take it for granted in a sense. Like, bro, it's a gift at the end of the day that we can be creative, not even just saying like, yeah, that we can create, bro. That's a gift. And honestly, it kind of becomes a mockery when you let programs just make you shit on your own gift. Like, that's crazy. Like, and that's why it really bothers me, like, when the unconscious programs come in and it's like, damn, like, I still got work to do. But yeah, that's the whole point of life, man. At the end of the day, just working on better in self. And then my final note being, as energy builds up, focus becomes even more important. For where attention goes, energy flows. And this is something I really had to realize earlier in my journey. Like, I had gone on my first long streak and then had a relapse after that, and I was like, okay, like, I can have the discipline to hold on to that energy, but if I'm like just depending on discipline to retain and not like shift my mindset of like what am I focusing on or like what am I feeding into, like, yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's natural to like find someone attractive, but then when you dive deeper into like the psychological aspect of just like really being attractive and just not just being like, okay, that person is attractive, and then just moving on from that, you know and that's what I feel like really gets shoved down our throat with social media and um entertainment in general. You, literally, bro. I mean, in this world, it's definitely not easy. Like, I'm not saying this shit like it's easy, but it's important to be aware of and do your best to take back control, I believe. So yeah, uh I think that's it for me with this video. If you watched to the end, I appreciate it. Let me know what y'all think, and I guess I'll see y'all in the next one. Till then, much love. Peace.